Hello my friends, today I'm coming at you with a quick little tutorial of how to make this rainbow wall hanging out of polymer clay. If you don't know who I am, my name's Sarah. I'm the owner of Viv Jewelry. I make jewelry, home decor, and do a little bit of illustration. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And a follow on Instagram is always appreciated. Let's get into the video. Lucky for you, this is a super simple project. You're just going to need a couple things. Get yourself some Sculpey oven bake clay adhesive, some polymer clay. You're going to want a lot of it. Get something to cut the clay with, a tooth picture frame hook that you see there, and a paintbrush, and just make sure you have a baking sheet for the oven as well. And lastly, just make sure you have a nice clean, smooth surface to work on. So we're gonna get started here. I'm just using a bunch of scrap clay. You'll notice I've got a good amount, like a good handful. You could even use more. You just wanna make sure you have enough clay for this because you don't wanna run out and have to like mix more of the same color because half the time you're not gonna get that color that you once had. I'm just warming it up in my hands, making sure it's ready to work with, and then I'm separating it into 5 pieces because there will be 5 sections to this. So I'm taking my first piece and I'm gonna start to roll it out. There's no special technique here, just simply roll it out, and you wanna try to make it as even as possible as you're rolling it. So you don't want any like thick and thin parts. Try to make sure it's even throughout the entire little snake that you're making. I'm rolling until this snake is about a centimeter in diameter. I'll show you here. So you don't want it to be too thin or else it's not going to be very durable, but you don't want to be too thick because it's going to take up a lot of your clay. I feel like 1 centimeter is perfect. And then I'm just simply making it into a little arch and leaving it, and then I'm taking my second piece and doing the same thing. I'm making a little snake, making sure it's even, and 1 centimeter in diameter. Once that's rolled out to where I need it to be, I'm going back to that arch and I'm literally just putting this piece over the other arch. So you'll see this is how I'm going to create the rainbow. And I'm spending some time here making sure it's how I want it to be because these bottom pieces kind of depict how the top pieces will go. So I want it to be in a shape that I would like. On to the third piece now. Something to take into consideration is that the next pieces are gonna need to have a little bit more clay. They need to be longer so they end up at the same point that the first 2 pieces were. This is why I say you need a lot of clay because you don't want to run out and then have your last piece have like no clay to work with. So here I am just trimming it to make sure these like bigger pieces have the clay they need. So this is the second last piece that I'm making and I'm just putting it over top, and here it wasn't even, so I literally just rolled it out a little tiny bit more to make it fit. Trim it, put those excess pieces into the last piece because that would be the longest piece that I need. And this part is always so satisfying. Here the rainbow is coming together. Again, I'm molding it, making sure it's the shape I want because as soon as it's baked, it's going to be permanent. So we want it to look the way I want it to. Now I'm actually gonna trim it so it is the desired size that I want. So I wanted it a little bit shorter and I wanted them to be even. So yeah. And here I've got my baking sheet. I'm gonna pick it up very, very carefully. If you pick it up from the top, it shouldn't fall apart. It should be actually pretty well stuck together as long as you've molded it a little bit as you're putting the pieces down. Here I am again, just making sure it's exactly how I want it to be. Pressing the edges, making sure they're straight, just making sure everything is good for when it bakes. And now I've got my oven bake adhesive, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this adhesive in all of the little crevices that you see. It doesn't have to be perfect. I do it very fast because I'm just gonna slather it all over the back. But I do want to make sure it's in those crevices so that those are really bonded together. I've got a paintbrush. You can use pretty much any paintbrush. This is from the dollar store. I'm wetting it a little because it helps with just the spreading. And I'm literally just going through like across the entire back, making sure the adhesive is in all the cracks. So now that that's done, I'm gonna grab my tooth hangers. I just got these from Amazon. I'm pretty sure you can get them from the dollar store. They're just for like hanging pictures and stuff. This is what it looks like. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretty much glue it to the back with the same oven adhesive liquid. I mapped out where the hardware would sit. It would be pretty much just in the middle of the rainbow there, and I put some globs of the adhesive down and set the hook down, and then I just put some more adhesive over top. I just want to make sure it's super saturated and covered because we obviously don't want it to pop off at any time. And I just went over it with a paintbrush, make sure it's covered, and now it's going into the oven. I'm baking it for about 45 minutes to an hour at 275. We want to make sure it's cooled off before we touch it because sometimes the clay can just kind of break when you first grab it out of the oven. So this is when it's cooled off. It's very, very durable. So you could like drop this, you could try to pull the hook off. It is staying. And yeah, it's that easy. You could choose to sand the edges at the bottom, but honestly, it looks good just is. I put a nail on the wall that has a little ridge. You can pretty much use any nail and it'll stay. And then I just put it up there and there it is. So yeah, that's how you make a rainbow wall hanging. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know if you end up doing this project. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.